Hey everybody, today is February 25th, 2024, and today we're going to talk about the price of Bitcoin and where I see the price of Bitcoin headed to in the month of March. Please read the disclaimer before you continue watching this video. You can pause this video as you read it. Okay, so where we left off last month, around here, I predicted that we would probably spend some time consolidating around this level. And I thought that we would have strong resistance on this Fibonacci level. And the reason why I thought that was that if we zoom out and we see these Fibonacci support levels tend to be strong resistance and support levels, right? And if we break them, they tend to have a hard time. So for example, back in our previous bull run, 30,000 was a strong support level until it broke in the bear market of 2022. And then we came down for a couple months, and then we took some time last year to try to break above 30,000 until we finally did in October of 2023, right? And we had this magnificent impulse move higher after we tried to test it 3 times, and we finally broke the 3rd time. And then now this next Fibonacci resistance level around 50,000, right? Was also a support level till it broke here, and it was support level till it broke here. Then we kind of during 2022 we came up, tried to hold this, try to turn it into support from resistance, and then we failed, and we again came down to 30,000 and failed that as well, right? So when we came up here, it wasn't a surprise. In my last video, I talked about how we basically got rejection over here, right? We can go into the daily time frame, and we see we got a strong rejection here off the Bitcoin ETFs, right? Spot ETFs. It was a big run up, right? People were front running the move, and we got a strong rejection here. So this move, what we got early this month, where we just ripped up a high above it, it really surprised me, you know. Now I wasn't like short this or anything, nor I'm still long basically 100%. So obviously I made a lot of money off this, which is great. But you know, I like to be a little bit more conservative and try to think of, I don't like to like get too like overly bullish. I try to be more realistic based on my experience doing technical analysis. So I thought, because of what I talked about, how we tested 30,000 so many times, 3 times before we broke above here, right? I thought we were going to test this a little bit more. So either like this is people getting really bullish, and you know all the inflows in the new ETFs are just eating up all the supply, or I think this might end up fading and we might come down and try to retest this level, right? So I wouldn't be surprised. So my conservative prediction for March is that we continue to move sideways, consolidate, and as long as we're able to stay above this 48,000 Fibonacci level and turn it to support, right? Because we got rejected here when the ETFs were approved. So again, zoom out. If we do come down here, hold this as support level and push up higher, right? Because if you also look at it here, we're in 4 weekly green candles in a row, right? So I'm not surprised if we do have 1 or 2 weeks where it's red. And even zooming out, right? And let me flip to a cleaner chart here. As you can see, if we do close green this month, we're about 6 monthly green candles in a row, which is very rare. The last time we had that was during the bull run in late 2020, 2021 over here. And even all the way back here as well, right? So this is 5. And even earlier than that, this is 5 here over here. So the last time we had 6 was all the way back here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was in March. This was in late 2012 to early 2013, right? So it's not very common that we have 6 consecutive green monthly candles in a row, right? So what are the chances we're going to close 7 consecutive green monthly candles in a row, right? So there's a pretty high probability that that we might actually see a pullback for March, right? And that would also coincide with my prediction that we're going to come down and try to test this Fibonacci level and hold it as support. And if we're able to hold it as support, right, we might be able to make another impulse move higher. And there's really not much resistance until we get to 60,000, right? So my prediction for March is that we probably will continue to consolidate sideways for the month of March. Build a space of support and then push up higher. If we're able to build support, I think the next level is definitely going to be around the 60,000 range, which is of course the next Fibonacci resistance level. And I think this is going to be the big one because we got rejected twice. And the second time we got rejected during the last bull market, we basically plunged all the way down to 15,000, right? So I think this part is going to be hard to break through. But once we do, it's going to be price discovery, new all-time highs, right? And that's going to be really exciting. But I don't think that's going to happen until later this year or sometime in 2025, right? Again, more conservative, but I try to be more conservative, right? And instead of giving everybody like crazy, unrealistic price targets like $1 million in like 1 year or something like that, right? But yeah, so that's my quick summary of where I think where we're headed in March and the remainder of maybe this quarter, next quarter. But let's look at some other things, right? fear and greed index is in greed. So there is some room to move up higher, but once we get into greed, right, like I said, there's going to be more bears hunting, hunting long positions, especially leveraged long positions, right? Hash rate is looking good. We continue to go up higher, right? And now we're over 500 million terahash per second, which is really great. 2-year multiplier, again, when we're in the green zone, that's a good time to buy. And we were in this zone for a long time. And if you were following my channel, I made so many videos when we were down here. So I was telling you like, oh, green zone, not in recommending you to buy, but I was telling you I was buying under this green line, right? And so far, I'm up a lot of money. So things are looking good. We're nowhere near this orange line, which tells you it's a good time to sell usually, right? Pi cycle top indicator also looking very close, looking very similar to what we saw in the bull run in 2016, right? Once we touch this green line, we might see a pullback, right? If you look here, we saw a pullback when we touched the green line over here. So this is 2016 until we eventually crossed above it in 2017 and became the parabolic run, right? So we haven't crossed above the green line. Once we cross across the green line, you want to start being a little bit more vigilant because that's when we're getting closer to the sell signal, which is when this orange line crosses above the green line, right? And that's when you see this sort of, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a dotted line that's telling that's a sell signal, right? But for now, we are still in the beginnings of this bull market, still a lot of room to run higher, and we're sort of like in the equivalent of like 2016, right? The year before, right? Or like 2020, right? The year before the big run up, which I believe is going to be 2025. So another bullish sign. This price forecast tool basically has a lot of different top and bottom signals, right? CVDD, top cap, delta top, bounce price, terminal price, and this gives you an idea of where the top or the bottom of the respective market cycle is going to be, right? So right now we're sort of in the middle, so in like this neutral zone, so we haven't really gotten any signals that the top is near. So again, things are looking very bullish. As long as the trend goes up higher, moves up higher away from these bottom signals, things are looking more bullish than bearish, right? And another Bitcoin Cycle Master, giving you an idea, we're on this purple line right now, which again is equivalent of 2016, right? In bullish trend in 2020 again. So it seems like we're following similar 4-year cycle as the previous 2 cycles, and that we might see a top sometime next year, right? Once we hit the red zone, which currently is at 120,000. But again, this line could go up higher and give us a higher sell price in late 2025, which is where I think the top is going to be, right? Again, our last chart is the rainbow chart indicator, which again is giving us similar cycle positioning as the previous last 2 cycles, right? Around the above the green, just below the green zone here. So it's telling us that there's still a lot of room to run. Basically, all of these that we just went through is telling us there's a lot of room to run, right? And so, just to summarize, I do think that the price of Bitcoin, I'm very bullish on it, of course, but at the same time, with us about to print 6 monthly green candles in a row, I do think that the chances of us printing 7 green candles, while it could happen, the probability is probably low because we just historically have never seen that. So there's a good chance that March is going to be a red month, and what that means is that there's a good chance that March will probably see us like consolidate and try to hold. But as long as we're able to hold this Fibonacci level around 46,000, right? This Fibonacci level, like I said, these levels of support, Fibonacci support and resistance levels are very important. We try to test them multiple times, right? Like we tested 30,000 multiple times and finally broke above and ran up to here. I do think we might come down and have possibly a red month next month. But if we're able to hold this level, I do think that's going to give us the next run up, more fuel to run up higher to our next Fibonacci resistance level around 60,000, right? Which of course is the big kahuna because this is where we got rejected in the last cycle top and plunge, right? So this might be like the final boss before we go into price discovery and go to new all-time highs, but that's still far away. We still need to defend this 40,000 level and ideally 50,000, right? Because if you look at Bitcoin has been defending 50,000 very strong, right? For the last couple of sessions, we haven't even gone below 50,000. So I think 50,000 is great. If we lose 50,000, at least defend 46, 48,000 or this Fibonacci level. If we're able to do that for the month of March, I could see us going up higher, but I do think March has a high probability of it being red month, right? Because 7 monthly green candles in a row, well, it's not impossible. It's just compared to the past history, and we try to be more conservative here, is improbable. So just a heads up. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not saying you should short the market because it's going to be red or anything, right? I'm just saying be a little cautious, be a little vigilant, right? The stock market is in extreme greed, right? The fear and greed index in Bitcoin is greed. This would be a different story if we were like in fear mode, right? And there's more upside, but much of the easy money upside is already been made. So just be careful, be cautious. I am overall still optimistic, and I do think Bitcoin will make a run for 60,000, but we need to clear this level. We need to hold this level as resistance. I'm sorry, as support before we go up higher. So just something to look forward to, and I'll come back to you at the end of March to see if this price prediction played out, and to tell you where I think the price of Bitcoin is going to for the for the month of April. So thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, useful, and informative, please like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe for updates. I appreciate all your support. Thank you again, and have a great day.